Let's talk about those fall plant diseases. Let's start with Boxwood Blight, something we've heard a lot about here lately.
Yes, and the reason I talk about that in the fall is because this is a fungus, and the pathogen is most active at temperatures between 64 degrees and 77 degrees. So, you know, in the fall when we get some rain and those temperature ranges, that's when this pathogen will start to really grow.
Okay.
And so that's why I want to bring that up. So symptoms that you see for Boxwood Blight, you know, you're going to see that bullseye look on the leaf. That's early though. The sign that you're probably going to see first is just defoliation.
Yeah.
The plant's just going to drop its leaves. And then you'll want to look for the stem lesions on the green stem. The stem lesions do not appear on the woody part of the stem, so you want to look at that green part of the stem. And if you see the stem lesions, then you might have Boxwood Blight. It's something that affects boxwood, Sarcococca species and Pachysandra.
Yeah.
So you want to look for it on those plants as well.
Okay. Is that control?
No, there's no cure for this disease. So you want to select resistant cultivars. This really affects American boxwood. It's one of the most susceptible ones, and English boxwood.
Okay.
But under high disease pressure, it can affect any boxwood.
Wow.
So you want to make sure to try and buy the disease resistant ones.
Okay.
But always buy healthy nursery stock.
Right.
You know, from reputable sources.
Good, good. And we'll have information about that at the extension office. So the local extension offices will have some of that information. All right, so let's talk about Phytophthora.
Yeah, so Phytophthora ramorum is a water mold. It's an invasive plant pathogen that it causes sudden oak death. So this pathogen is mostly in California and Oregon. However, it has been found on nursery stock in the southeastern regions too.
Okay.
So it's something that we want to make sure we're not moving from the west coast to the east coast.
Got it.
And it can infect viburnum, osmanthus. There's a really large host list, and so you want to be careful and not buy sick or dying plants.
Sure.
Because the symptoms of it it could be environmental. It could look like it's environmental. It's so ubiquitous in how it looks. So it really does need a lab test to confirm if you have that or not.
Well, so control for that is going to be pretty difficult, maybe?
Yes, so you want to only buy healthy plants, right? You want to disinfest your pruning tools. You want to use sanitary practices. But yeah, it does need to be a diagnosis made by a professional.
So diagnosis.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's learn a little bit about Cankers Disease.
Yeah, so Cankers Disease is something that affects black walnut trees.
Huh?
It's actually caused by a fungus that is spread by the walnut twig beetle. So it's a complicated situation, and this is also something that is affecting trees on the west coast and into Arizona, New Mexico, and Colorado, where it is thought to be widespread. And so this is another one where we want to be careful moving raw wood or wood with the bark attached. This is another reason we say don't move firewood.
Sure.
Because you could potentially be moving this from the west to the east. And you're going to see symptoms of it are going to be yellowing foliage, turning to brown wilted foliage, then that branch will just die.
Okay.
So it's something that you definitely want to move firewood, or don't move firewood.
Right.
You want to burn it where you buy it.
Burn it where you buy it.
Burn it where you buy it.
Okay. And those will be all of your control methods for the most part?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, the USDA has, measures in place to prevent it spreading as well. So
Okay.
it's a federally monitored disease.
Serious?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes. Because of the economic consequences,
Right, I
due
understand.
to the nut production and hardwood production of walnuts.
Okay. Let's talk about Hosta Virus X. That's something we hear a lot about because I know a lot of people this way
Yes.
grow hostas.
Yeah, so Hosta Virus X is something that is highly concentrated on infected plants. It is stable to outside the cell wall. So it can move just by touching an infected plant,
Wow.
you know,
Okay.
and from the sap and also from the tools. So I mention it this time of year because people are, you know, deadheading.
Yes.
And if you're deadheading an infected plant and not disinfecting your tools, you're moving that virus. Also, in the fall is the best time to remove a plant with the virus because that's when it's least active.
Right.
So
Got it.
if you suspect that you have Hosta Virus X, you definitely want to have that tested by a professional as well. But you're going to see symptoms of stunting, mottling, you're going to see puckering, wilting, and also like if it ever looks like the hosta is not growing like it should be, like if you look at the label, say for your guacamole, you know what it's supposed to look like,
Right.
and it just doesn't look right.
Huge leaves and these are small.
Yeah, if it just doesn't look right, then you might have some kind of virus or something going on with your hosta, and you want to be careful not to infect the healthy ones in your yard. So it's best to disinfect.
So how do you disinfect? What would you recommend for disinfecting your tools?
Alcohol or Lysol. You know, some people say bleach or a bleach solution, but that can stain clothing. It's caustic. And also it really should be mixed on a regular basis. You shouldn't just have it sitting. It loses its efficacy. So Lysol and alcohol are really good. And I would suggest doing that every time you prune something in your yard.
Oh, yes.
You know?
Yes.
And even the bottoms of your shoes and your hands.
That's
so,
good. Okay.
Yep.
So any other control methods, you know, for controlling?
It's best to, again, buy plants from reputable sources. And again, if you are in the garden center and you're not sure, you should just leave that plant there.
Yeah, just leave it there.
You should not be taking that one home with you.
Okay.
Yep.
Quickly, any general advice for stopping the spread of all of these diseases we talked about today?
Yes, again, it's just being cautious and being an inspector yourself when you're in the garden center is to really be mindful that you could be moving something.
Right.
Even in the garden centers, you know, they're busy and they might miss something. And so it's just good for you as the consumer to, as we all should be aware of what we're potentially moving from one place to another, whether it's from the garden center to home or when we're out camping and, you know, moving across the country. You know, we just need to be aware
Right.
of
This
what
is why
we're
we have
moving.
people like you.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Well, thank you, Lisa. We appreciate that good information, so thank you
Yes.
much.